Good evening and welcome all to our Solomon Leadership Program graduation ceremony. I would like to give a special thanks to Rabbi and Rebbitzin Wolf and Ms. Sippy Romero, the director and administrator of this incredible program. I'd also warmly welcome the incredible dedicated mentors of Solomon. Without you, none of this would be possible. Welcome to our commencement speaker this evening, Mr. Maor Elbaz-Starinsky, and finally, welcome to our fellows and to our families who have supported us throughout this year. My name is Felipe Telias. I'm a junior at Dr. Michael Senior Crop High School. My time here at Solomon has been incredibly impactful. As the year is closing to an end, looking back at the Solomon Leadership Program makes me nostalgic. Remembering all the Monday nights that I shared with my fellows, the speeches that were said, and the amazing food has been imprinted into my mind. Every session, our group got closer together as we learned more about ourselves, and the conversations just started getting better. One pillar especially stuck with me, the pillar of persistence. I don't know if you could see it over there. The pillar of persistence taught me the importance of determination, resilience, and commitment to achieving my goals. My mentor's inspiring story of overcoming challenges to become a doctor exemplified this principle. I applied this principle to my life, and ever since then, I've noticed significant improvements in various areas of my life, such as my motivation, my grades, and my confidence. The Solomon Leadership Program has helped me strengthen all aspects of my life, from thinking to doing, from seeing to creating, and from understanding to implementing. It has truly paved an easier path for personal growth. Tonight, we will hear our remarks from Rabbi Wolf, our fellows, and our commencement speaker. I hope tonight's ceremony will afford you an appreciation of our experience as fellows this year and all the ways we have grown. We've grown, gained, and prepared for our role as tomorrow's leaders. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Noah Ben Susan, and I'm a proud fellow of the Solomon Leadership Program. Tonight marks the second annual graduation of the Solomon Leadership Program at Ventura Chapter. In 2016, Solomon began as the vision of Mr. Larry Sosnow and Rabbi Moshe Schneier. Together, they formed the idea of influencing tomorrow's leaders by creating a leadership program that combined an ethical leadership education with formal mentoring. Rabbi Wolf and Beit David then had the vision and persistence to facilitate the program here. Because of them, I am proud to be one of tomorrow's leaders. I have truly enjoyed and learned a lot from my experience with the Solomon Leadership Program. One of the things I can take away from this is the cookies are really good, but in all seriousness, when I think of what impacted me the most, two things come to mind. First, when Coach Joe came to speak with us, I can't say his last name, it's too hard, but hearing him talk about his journey and how he failed many times, yet always dusted himself off and moved forward was very inspiring. There are many times when you feel overwhelmed and can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But just like Coach Joe, if we persevere and keep trying, we will succeed. I applied this principle to my life, and ever since then, I have noticed significant improvements in various areas of my life, such as my motivation, grades, and confidence. The Solomon Leadership Program has helped me strengthen all aspects of my life, from thinking to doing, from seeing to creating, and from understanding to implementing. It has truly paved an easier path for personal growth. Tonight, we will hear remarks from Rabbi Wolf, our fellows, and our commencement speakers. I hope tonight's ceremony will afford you an appreciation of our experience as fellows this year, and all the ways we have grown, gained, and prepared for our role as tomorrow's leaders. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I want to give a special welcome to our fellows of 2023, to your parents, your grandparents, your siblings, your friends, and all others who have come to support you this evening. I want to give a special welcome to our mentors who have given so much of their time throughout this season. Louis Berlin, Dr. John Kogan, Fanny Hayim, Ratim Rodrigue, and Dana Schrager. Let's give them a... Now I can give an official welcome. It's a big honor now that Consul General of Israel in Miami, Mr. Maor Elbaz-Starinsky, has joined us here today with his team. He's here with Leandro Harari and others from the administration there. A big honor you're here with us this evening, and we're looking forward to hearing from you. A few years ago, the New York Times put out an offer to its subscribers. It was towards the end of year, schools are making graduations, people are giving commencement speeches, and so they made this challenge for everybody to contribute to submit their commencement speech, what they would tell the students at the graduation. And there was one catch. It had to be under 50 words. Right, so now you're getting excited because my speech is going to be under 50 words tonight. Yeah? No, I'm going to actually quote a few of theirs. So, Arlene, who's 21 from Houston, she wrote, "Remember, everyone will tell you it can't be done until you do it. And when you do it, they'll say it was luck. Unless you do it again, and they'll say it was your genes. But if you do it again, you show your spirit is stronger than their words." You hear? This is what Rita, 76 from Chicago, wrote. "Graduates are exhorted to think big, have noble aspirations. Some may achieve greatly. Let's instead accomplish what a small and meaningful feat can be, maintaining dedicated relationships, helping others, becoming skilled at what we love. There is contentment in accepting our limits and striving to fulfill them." You're all graduates tonight. Almost. You're almost there. So what now? What's going to be tomorrow? How's your life going to be different? Something going to change in the morning? What are you dreaming of? So I want to tell you something like this. At the end of this week, we're celebrating the festival of Shavuot. And hopefully we're all going to gather in the synagogue where we're commemorating and celebrating that time when God came down Har Sinai, Mount Sinai, to all of us, men, women, and children, and every soul that's going to be born. We were all there. And he said, Aseret HaDibrot, the 10 Commandments, right? But what were the first 3 words of the 10 Commandments? Fellows only. Which one? You know? First 3 words. Anochi Hashem Elokecha. I am the Lord your God. First thing you need to know. Okay? That's an important piece of information, right? It's the foundation of our faith. You've got to know. God is God. But listen to this. You don't have this so much in English, but I think many of you speak Hebrew. If you're speaking to a crowd, you say, Ani Hashem Elokechem. Plural. Actually, in Old English, I am the Lord your God was plural. How would you say it in the singular? Ani Hashem Elokecha. I am the Lord thy God. Remember those days we used to speak like that? Yeah? So Hashem is talking to thy. He's talking to you. When he's talking to 2 million people or more, but he's not talking to 2 million people. If you're listening to me right now, I'm talking to you only. If you're listening to me right now, I'm talking to you only. And you only. And only you and only you. Imagine. Some of you are finishing school this year, some of you will soon finish school, you're moving on to the next step. It's a very big world. It's a lot of people doing a lot of things. How am I going to make my mark? Who am I going to be? I could think, I could plan, I have my dreams, right? If my dreams, there's 3 things how you're going to be who you're going to be. If your dreams align with what you're actually good at, they don't always align together, and then align with some or a lot of mazal from Hashem, if those 3 things come together, then, it may look like how you think it's going to look like. Probably, if you're like me or most of us grown-ups in the room, it doesn't end up looking like the way you thought it's going to look like. It's better. Or at least it could be better. So remember, I want you to remember a famous teaching from a great rabbi, Rabbi Yisrael Salanter, a Lithuanian rabbi from the 19th century. This is what he said. When I was young and ambitious, I said, I want to conquer the world. Got a little older and he said, the world, that's a little much. How about if I become the president of the country? He got a little older and wiser, or a little more realistic, and he said, president of the country, maybe I run to be a state senator. He got a little older and wiser, or maybe by this time he got married, he had a wife already, or children who told him a little bit about himself. He said, how about if I run to, become a county mayor? A little older, what about my city? A little older, a little wiser, what about my block? If I could be, what about my own family? Let me control my wife, my children. But when he reached the pinnacle of his maturity, he said, how about the biggest challenge of all? If I can become the master of myself. It's easy to control other people, or to try to influence, or to speak big to others, but what about myself? And that's what I want to tell you as you walk out of this room tonight. Don't give up on your dreams, whatever they are. And hopefully in this program we have taught you to think big, because every single one of you are capable of doing something. I'm not going to say what it is. Only you know. Only Hashem knows what it is. But at the same time, it's going to happen through tiny, tiny steps. You know what those tiny steps are? Can you be kind to your neighbor? You'd be surprised. Go out there. How many people right now have even a relationship with their neighbor? From the car, hi, bye, good morning, good night, and that's it. What about the person who's behind you in the store or in front of you in the store? What about the person that you're crossing the street and they're carrying something, or someone's with a child or trying to park their bike? What about when you come out of the supermarket, and where do you leave your trolley? Where do you leave it? Everybody, I know where everyone leaves it. Blocking the other car, of course. Who actually put it back where it belongs in that parking spot? But you, as a leader, as a Jewish leader, as a proud Jewish person, are going to put your cart back in the parking spot where it needs to go. And you're also going to be eyes open around you. Not such big things, smaller things. Because if you want to be big, and whatever big means, it's all the small steps that it takes to get there. Remember, every day of your life, Hashem is yours. In this moment, in your room, and when you're reading your book, or you're praying, or you're doing something for another friend, small things. Shine in small areas, and with God's great blessings and your plans and ambitions, you will shine in ways that you're truly capable of. We are very, very proud of our graduating class this year. You guys have done outstanding, as we're going to see this evening. On behalf of my wife and myself, my wife could not be here tonight. We bless you and wish you to continue to shine. Give nachas to your parents and your family and the community. And I want to bless everyone here with a Shavuot blessing of Kabbalat HaTorah b'simcha u'v'pnimiyut. May you merit to receive the Torah once again with joy and with meaning and with happiness. God bless you. Chazak ve'ematz. Okay, and now we are ready for one of the most exciting times of this evening to award our graduating fellows. Fellows, are you ready for this? So we have a list of names of all our graduates. Tzipi, I want to just pause and give a round of applause for Tzipi, everyone. If I'm allowed to say, this whole program this year was a journey for all our fellows, a journey for our mentors, but it's been a journey for Tzipi also. And please God, you're going to get over the finish line in a safe, healthy, blessed way. So we're going to call you up and give you an award and take a picture with you all. Leon, are you ready? So, drum roll for our first graduate for tonight. How'd you know?
We didn't say your name.
Not even on the list here.
No, the other one.
The other list.
Yeah.
He did graduate, we know. Joseph Albani.
And the certificate. Do I sit in the picture? Maravam Selim. Took your certificate. Hold on. Oh, I put it on. Joseph, you took it. Oh, Nina. Friends keep getting closer.
Noah Ben Susan.
Yeah, it was
Nothing was that soon.
Come here, my friend.
B.
You deserve this. You deserve it.
Stop, you're too kind. You're too kind.
Yoav Berdiavsky. Sorry, butchered your name.
Leon Kalef.
Morel Dahabad.
Sarah Jaime.
You have the hair. The black hair. Aaron Jaime.
Ariella Kaplan.
Nathan Malamud.
Eitan Myler.
Shalom Mixels.
Jeremy Schoenfeld.
Sarah Haya Sterental.
Felipe Tilias.
I know, you have to jump a little bit. So we want to call all the fellows up for a group picture, but before I do, I just want to also quickly say thank you to the real celebrities here, the ones that prepare your food every week. You guys are so loving and grateful to Mommy, Papi, Ruthie. We love you. Okay, so if all the fellows can just stand in the front here with their certificates open for just a group picture. The mentors also, no? We should have them come up or leave them comfortable. Mentors, if you are not too comfortable and would like to come and join the photo, we'd love for you to join.
Good evening. My name is Eitan Mailer, and I'm a junior at Dr. Michael M. Kropp Senior High School. The Solomon Leadership Program has partnered with Palm Beach Atlantic University so that all fellows can receive 3 college credits for completing the program. This aspect of the program has meant so much to me because it provided me with valuable opportunities that helped improve my leadership skills and expand my perspectives on concepts of morality. Through the Solomon Leadership Program, I was exposed to multiple different experiences, challenges, and mentors who pushed me to step out of my comfort zone and allowed me to become the best version of myself. Tonight, I'm honored to introduce the recorded remarks of Dr. Art Johnson, Professor of Leadership and Organizational Development at Catherine T. MacArthur School of Leadership at Palm Beach Atlantic University. Dr. Johnson oversees and advises on the Solomon Program curriculum. He has worked in many higher education settings in his career, has taught for 8 universities, and is the owner of a successful consulting business. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Art Johnson.
Hello, welcome. First of all, to start this, I want to say congratulations. The fellows, congratulations on a job well done. You made it. I know that the curriculum isn't easy. Hopefully it's something that caused a high level of engagement for you and something that you feel like you really benefited from. I read your final essay, so I know that that is the case, and I hope that it's something that serves you well throughout your life. I want to thank Palm Beach Atlantic University for making this possible. I specifically want to thank Dr. Jonathan Brentz, and I want to thank Kathy Meisner for all the work they do behind the scenes to make this happen. When I think about leadership, there are really 3 buckets. And the 3 buckets are learning to lead yourself, which is the most important, learning to lead others, and learning to lead organizations. Now, Solomon, its curriculum, focuses on 2 of the buckets, focuses on learning to lead yourself and learning to lead others. And you have to understand that down the road, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, you're going to have your stories. You're going to have built your stories as a leader of others, a leader that works with others, a leader that works for teams, a leader who is a mentor. You may end up becoming a mentor in the Solomon Leadership Program, or mentor others in another way, coach others in another way. The bottom line is leadership has ripple effects. And make no mistake, the world needs good leaders, and has, and it always will. Finally, I want to give you something that will help you get better consistently, and that's this. If you take a little bit of time at the end of the day to reflect on your leadership, say, hey, how did I do? What went well? What didn't go well today? And try to be better tomorrow. Every day you do that, you start to become a better and better leader. And make no mistake, over time, you will become the leader you wish to become in whatever field you're in. You'll make a difference not just for yourself, but you'll make a difference for others. You'll make a difference for organizations. You'll make a difference in your field. With that said, God bless, take care, and I wish I was there to see that journey and what you've ended up accomplishing in 30 to 40 years. Congratulations, well done.
Good evening. My name is Sarita Jaime, and I feel so accomplished standing here as a 2023 graduate of the Solomon Leadership Program. I am beyond proud of my fellows and me for growing as the future leaders of our generation. When I first entered the room, it was full of new faces, but there was an emptiness in the room. An emptiness that I knew would flourish into connections, relationships, and knowledge. And that it did. What started off as an empty coloring book ended in pages on end filled with joyous tones of all different colors. The first thing I learned as a fellow was that we all have goals we strive to achieve, which seemed obvious to me. However, this program was a dissection of that sentence, a focus on the strive rather than the achieve. It's not reaching the goal that is the most important, but rather the process one takes to get there. While I learned this, I also began to understand that real long-term goals are not always so easy to come up with, and once they've been thought of, the steps one must take to reach them are not all completed overnight. The way I always pictured it was a railroad. A train usually goes straight, but when something is blocking the tracks, it has to divert onto another road. After this diversion, it must find its way back to get to the planned destination, and by using the 8 pillars of leadership that we learned, it usually makes it safely to the end. As I progress through the rest of my life, I hope the train of my dreams makes it safely to its destination, whatever the destination is. At the beginning of the year, one of the guest speakers had us draw where we see ourselves in 5 years and 10 years. Looking 5 years ahead, I drew myself in my dream college, which I don't have yet, studying either law, psychology, or computer science engineering. Looking 10 years ahead, I drew myself pursuing and succeeding at my career and having a stable family and home. When my group gathered back up, Fanny, our mentor, asked us to explain our drawings, and that I did. In 5 years, I want to be studying law, psychology, or computer science engineering in my dream school, and in 10 years, I want to be successfully pursuing my career and have a family. It seemed simple. She just asked us to repeat what was on the paper. In reality, however, she was asking us to read in between the lines of our drawings. What will you do to get there? Why is that what you want? Are you willing to work hard enough to get there? I remember she asked us, what are you doing to achieve your goals? At that point, though, I barely even had a goal, as I had only found interest in these 3 things recently. This question was very hard to answer. If I wasn't sure of my goal, how could I be sure of what I'm doing to get there? I didn't realize that before, so I think I said something like, I try my best in school so I can get into a good college. Those became questions I asked myself daily. What do I want? What do I wake up for every morning? Am I working as hard as I should be? What can I do to improve? Recently, I participated in an engineering competition for SIGE, or Center for Initiatives in Jewish Education, called Innovation Day. 4 Jewish schools, including mine, compete by displaying innovations they created using coding and circuitry. The journey to my success was certainly a train ride. It all worked smoothly until I transferred it to physical wiring, where I reached the final products after weeks of trial and error. The day before the presentation, there was a shortage in the circuit, and there was nothing else I could do. I went into the competition with a half-broken project and solely relied on the idea behind it, hoping the judges would be sold. To my surprise, my partner and I won 2nd place overall after having won 3rd place last year. This was one train ride with many diversions, but life is a train ride of its own, and we just have to learn how to ride along. Although I am not exactly sure what my goal is yet, I know the parameters I have set for myself. Solomon has helped me learn that the sky is the limit, and that the way you get to a goal is just as important as actually reaching it. Marking the end of my time here, I can take away that success is not a measure of numbers or statistics, but rather an improved perception of yourself. I boarded my train. If you haven't boarded your train yet, what are you still doing here? You can be at the station forever, but I can promise you, your train won't wait.
Can't find it. Hello, my name is Aaron Heinrich, and I am beyond thrilled to be here at this graduation. Throughout the Solomon Leadership Program, my mentor, Mr. Louis Berlin, has influenced me and my fellows, allowing us to become better leaders. To start every meeting, Mr. Berlin would bring in an item that empowered him, and he would show it to my group. After he shared, Mr. Berlin would ask each of us questions about the reading, the guest speaker, and what we took away from that week's curriculum. One of the most profound lessons Mr. Berlin taught us revolved around the bracelet of being, a bracelet he designed. As he showed us, each bracelet has the inscriptions, unique, infinite, and equal value. The purpose of it is simple. Every person is unique, with infinite value, yet equal in value to every other person, just by being. Mr. Berlin explained that there are two ways to wear this bracelet. By having the words face you, it allows you to easily access the message and reinforce your understanding of your own self-worth. By having the words face outward, it promotes the opportunity to share this message with others. This reflection time has allowed me to grow as a person and a leader. Thank you, Mr. Berlin, for influencing me and our group to each become a better person and a more reflective leader. Please come to the stage to accept a small token of our appreciation. Thank you.
Mr. Berlin. So let's go up front here so we can get a picture. Come stand in front of it. You should go in the middle. You go in the middle.
Other way? Do I still need this? No? Okay. Good evening. I'm back, yeah. I would like to take a moment to share my thanks for my mentor, who has been nothing less than phenomenal. From day one, Mr. Kogan has demonstrated a deep grasp in every topic we've tackled. What's more is that he always ties these topics into real life situations, aiding all of us for better understanding of these topics. Perhaps the greatest lesson he's impacted to me was the tenacity to never surrender, a quality he's exemplified while earning his medical degree. His determination has served as a source of inspiration for me. I regard him as an incredible role model and hope to emulate his resilience in my own journey. Thank you, Dr. Kogan, for all you have given me and our group this year. Please come to stage and accept a small gift of appreciation. Thank you so much. Thank you. Opa.
See, we're good. There's room for many more. Years to come. This year. This year.
Hello everyone, my name is Nathan Mahmoud. I'm a junior at Crop, and throughout my Solomon course, my mentor, Miss Fanny Haim, has significantly influenced and positively challenged me, enabling personal growth and character development. At the beginning of each meeting, Ms. Haim asked us to speak about anything we found interesting about that day's speaker or homework. This allowed us to find a better understanding of what we were actually talking about and allow us to relate more personally to the topic or the pillar of that meeting. Honestly, I'd say that this is one of the best parts of our conversation because it allows us to begin the topic and the discussion with something that we can all relate to. Ms. Haim also shifts the conversation through something that significantly piques mine and the other fellows' interests. Throughout the session, she's able to allow us to understand the topic significantly better by taking whatever idea it is that we're talking about and putting it in terms that relate to our normal everyday life. For me, this is what makes Ms. Haim such a great mentor. The consistent reflection time facilitated Ms. Haim has played a crucial role in nurturing my personal and leadership growth. She constantly challenges me to ponder over my values, aspirations, and the person that I desire to be. By posing insightful questions, she helps me gain clarity regarding my life's purpose and fuels my determination for pursuing my goals. I wholeheartedly express my gratitude for Ms. Haim and for her influential guidance, which has not only empowered me, but also every person in our group to evolve as individuals and develop into more introspective leaders. We kindly request Ms. Haim to join us on stage and accept this humble token of our appreciation.
Fanny, Ms. Haim, already has one, right, from last year. So she has the 2022 badge, and now we're adding the 2023 badge to... Thank you, Fanny.
Hello, my name is Jeremy Schoenfeld, and I would like to express my gratitude to my mentor, Rotem Roderick. My first impression of Rotem was that he is a calm and calculated person. This mindset was one I wish for myself, to be a person who can make decisions and maintain tranquility. One obstacle in the way of attaining this attitude was my tolerance, so I approached Rotem with my problem. I can tolerate most people, however, some people I can't tolerate at all. Around these intolerable people, I made immature choices, and my head became flooded with negativity. Rotem gave me some very sound advice. He opened my eyes to the fact that I have authority over myself and how I wish to be treated. He reminded me to treat others the way I wanted to be treated, and if I wish to be treated with respect and kindness, then I need to do the same for others. Furthermore, setting boundaries is a great tool to establish what you are comfortable with people doing while with you. If they don't wish to respect you and your boundaries, it is a healthy decision to cut them off and, if necessary, replace them. Having Rotem as my mentor was not only enjoyable, but has enabled me to strengthen many relationships in my life and set boundaries where they were needed. This lesson will stay with me forever. Thank you so much for your guidance. Please come to the stage to accept this token of our appreciation.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Yoav Viliovsky. Today, I'm here to speak about my incredible and compassionate mentor, Mrs. Dana. Mrs. Dana has guided me and our group throughout these pleasant 10 classes. I am grateful to have had a leader that was supportive, always listened, and always acted in our best interest. Although Leon and I often rambled off on certain topics, Dana always kept us in check and always made sure that we understood the lesson that the pillar was trying to teach us. Dana has helped us throughout the entire program to develop into strong and confident leaders with a powerful connection to our roots. Each conversation we had helped me realize that we need to do what we need to do in order to better ourselves and become the best person we can be. This program helped me feel safe and comfortable throughout the 8 pillars, as well as showing me the correct steps to take in life to prosper as much as my heart desires. My comfortability throughout the program is mostly because of the way Dana made me feel, as though as I could say what I wanted and not feel any judgment. For that, I am grateful to have had the opportunity to be mentored by a person so generous and caring. Thank you. Please come to the stage to accept this small token of appreciation. Before the mentors go home, we have a box for you guys to put all of your awards in at the end. Thank you.
Yes, a picture with the mentors and their awards. Please, mentors, come up. Careful if you're full. Yeah, we have the boxes full.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Maor Salam.
And I'm Mariella Kaplan.
And we're so excited to share our visual presentation with you. When we first heard about this assignment, we really had to think about what we wanted to do and how we wanted to express what we gained from our time at the Solomon Leadership Program. After a lot of thought and consideration, we decided to make a toolbox.
We made a toolbox because we felt that the Solomon Leadership Program really gave us the tools for life. Coming into the program, we didn't really know what to expect. We knew we'd have sessions with speakers and homeworks, but we didn't know how much we would actually gain. Our mentors really helped inspire us and lead us to where we are today, standing in front of you all. We want to thank Mrs. Fanny Haim
and Mrs. Dana Schrager. They made us feel comfortable to share our thoughts and opinions and always had an open ear to listen to anything we had to say. Although they aren't physically there in our toolbox, they're mentally there. Over the course of these past few months, each time we came in, we got another tool to put in our box. Every pillar has something important and personal that we could each take away from it. The Solomon Leadership Program really did turn us into leaders.
It gave us the qualities of one and how to implement each characteristic into our lives. Although this course is ending, our tools are helping us to make new beginnings, and we will carry them with us wherever we go. Thank you. This is our toolbox.
All of our pillars.
Every pillar. So we made blocks of each of our tools and we painted them with each pillar. So we have judgment, character, persistence, tolerance, all of them in here. And we labeled the box with our SLP tools.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Chaya, and I attend Sheikh Hillel Community School. At each session, we heard from an esteemed guest speaker who spoke specifically about their experiences with each pillar, what they learned from it, and how it plays a role in their daily lives. Tonight, I'm excited to share with you a few highlights of the most important things we heard from the guest speakers at Solomon. Their candid words of wisdom gave us lessons for life. Over the course of the program, we were lucky to hear from Mrs. Bonnie Schwartzbaum, Food Bank Director at Jewish Family Services for Character, Mr. Jacob Solomon, President and CEO of the Greater Miami Jewish Federation for Tolerance, Mr. Adam Hendry, CEO of Tzaddik Management for Communication, Mrs. Elise Sheck, attorney and principal at Sheck Group for Vision, Honorable Judge Spencer Egg, who sits on the 11th Judicial Circuit of Florida for Empowerment, Mr. Alberto Perlman, CEO and co-founder of Zumba Fitness for Persistence, Mr. Asaf Shami, entrepreneur and community activist for Strategy, and finally, Mr. Joseph I can't say his last name, athletic director at the Miami Beach JCC for Judgment. We heard so many incredible and practical messages about what leadership means, how to be a leader, and how each pillar played an important role in every speaker's life and trajectory. Two lessons that were especially impactful for me were the ones about communication and persistence. We learned about communication from Mr. Adam Hendry. He spoke about different types of people and how different communication methods affect your personality and ability to do certain jobs. This lesson really opened my eyes and allowed me to see and understand all the communication problems I've ever had. In school and with friends, it's easy not to notice any barriers, but in the workplace, having a person who is unable to focus due to communication and attention habits is a hassle. Mr. Hendry taught us that as social media platforms grow, our attention spans tend to do the opposite. As short-form content is on the rise, less and less people are able to sit and perform well in desktops, and most new employees tend to delegate tasks instead of doing them. Personally, this information has helped me tremendously, as I was able to find my own areas of improvement within and grow from the experience. Mr. Alberto Perlman spoke to us about persistence. He shared his experiences within his personal and professional life, where his persistence was the only way out, and how important it is not to give up. Mr. Perlman helped us understand as a group the struggles of starting a business. He walked us through the process and made sure we understood that there are ups and downs, even now that his business is successful. After hearing from him, I feel prepared for all the failures I know I will face, and also know I will be able to endure in my life. This conversation has shaped the way I look at failures, as now they aren't bad in the least, just an opportunity to better myself and rebrand.
Hello, my name is Shalom Izels, and I would like to thank everyone joining us for the celebration of our graduation tonight. Hearing from such accomplished leaders at each session was truly a privilege. As our third speaker, Adam Hendry, said in our session on communication, do not try to convince people you are right. This could very well be the single most impactful message I learned while on my Solomon journey. With this suggestion, Mr. Hendry made it clear to us that no human being has a monopoly or sole ownership of the truth. Though we may strive to find what is most right or correct in our lives, there is no guarantee that how we conduct ourselves is perfect. That is the beauty of the Solomon Leadership Program. With speakers at every session, along with accompanying mentor discussions, we were offered the unique opportunity to learn about different approaches to hardship, triumph, and life in general. Expressing their insight into the real world, each speaker brought to Solomon showed us how much one can grow through listening to what others have to say. Listening. That is what will turn you into a leader. Tonight, it is my pleasure to introduce you to the Consul General of Israel to Miami, Maor Elbaz-Starinsky, who will share parting thoughts with us about what it means to be a Solomon leader. Maor Elbaz-Starinsky serves as the Consul General of Israel in Miami. A career diplomat since 2006, his focus in Miami is to build partnerships and coalitions for Israel with the people and governments of Florida, Kansas, Missouri, and Puerto Rico. As a member of the Strategic Affairs Division, Maor represented Israel at various international forums and conferences. In particular, he was involved in discussions related to arms control at international organizations. He also served as a policy advisor to the Israeli delegation to the European Union and NATO, and was responsible for regional strategic security and NATO-related issues. Maor's first posting was as the Deputy Ambassador at the Embassy of Israel in Nairobi. He holds an MA with distinction in conflict management and resolution from the Hebrew University in Jerusalem. He also attended a master's degree program in immunology at the Graduate School of Medicine at Tel Aviv University. His BA is in biology from the Department of Biology at Tel Aviv University, where he ran projects in marine and molecular biology For his IDF service, he was a commander in the paratroopers. Maor is an avid marathon runner, a scuba diver, and marine enthusiast. Maor is joined in Miami by his wife, a doctor for genetics, expert in forensic science in Israel's National Police, and their 5 children. Thank you.
Being a father of 5 kids, I'm very privileged to be here tonight and skip dinners and showers. So thank you very much. It's really an honor to be here. You're all beautiful, impressive, intelligent, and I'm sure you're going to be very, very successful down the road, given that you follow the 8 pillars of leadership that you are so well taught. But really, it's a privilege to be here. I have to be humble. I was called to this mission only last weekend, and being again a father of 5 kids, I didn't have much time for myself to think about what am I going to be saying, let alone to inspire. I'm an Israeli diplomat. I'm used to talk about Iran, Palestinians, God, to depress people rather than to inspire them. But I tried, or I will try. So I went over the whole curriculum, and I saw all the impressive lists of speakers that we've had this year and in past years. Some of them I know, some of them are good friends, Bob Diener and Eliza Sheck and Jacob Solomon, and so on and so forth. And I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. But I just thought I printed the list of all this leadership pillars, and I thought maybe I should pick a few and tell stories from my own life and tell you that even though I'm only Maor Elbaz from Eilat, who never thought he would become a consul general in Israel, I did become a consul general of Israel in Miami. And regardless of the really, and I think it was impressive CV, but CVs are always impressive. You never hear, you never read bad CVs, and I'm recruiting now at the consulate. I am recruiting now, by the way, at the consulate. Someone is interested. So I read great CVs. Everybody, wow. When you read the CVs, bring them over here. Now I want them sitting in my office now, starting working. And then they come and, it usually doesn't match the CV. That's why the positions are still vacant for the past year. Anyway, my problems, not yours. But let's start a little bit with my stories. Some of them you've heard. And we'll touch also about on the failures, quite a few of them that I've had that in the end of the day made me what I am now, even more than my very few successes. But let me start with communication. And why would I start with communication? Because, and again, I'm not trying to teach, because we have gone through 10 sessions, I understand, of studying, including what communication is. But just to let you know that, and you know that, we communicate now, the way we stand, the way we sit, the way we play with the phone. We communicate at any given moment, even without speaking. Just our posture, just our standing, just our body language, even just being silent. And I remember when I applied for the foreign ministry, I was, regardless of medical school and BA in biology, I was a really failed scientist. Really, I was bad, really bad. And I remember myself and thinking, what would I do? Where am I going in my life? And I applied for the foreign ministry. I told my wife, I'm not sure if she was even my wife back then, so we were just dating. Should I apply for the foreign ministry? And nobody has accepted the foreign ministry, right? Who becomes a diplomat? It's for this nepotism, those who know others. And I'm only Maor Elbaz from Eilat. And I insist that she told me, you can apply, you will not be accepted anyhow, and we will continue our very, very regular, ordinary life. She denied saying that. Dana, you can ask her one day if she did say that, she will probably deny. And then I find myself going through the various stages, long process of screening to become a diplomat, and then I get to the last stage, but I'm a clueless person, a scientist with flip-flops and a heavy motorcycle, doing marine biology and cancer research and immunology, all the soup of science, and they called me for what I didn't know was the last interview. I thought it was just come and you get your, this is the contract detail, this is how you will make, how much you will make, not a lot. This is how many hours a week you will work. And I came with my motorcycle, with my motorcycle jacket, with a skull, big skull, with flip-flops. I had piercing in my eyebrow. I had piercing. And I get into the foreign ministry and I'm like, wow, it's like a temple in Jerusalem. And they put me into the room with 10 psychologists sitting in what we call a head shape or a C shape, all looking at me and they're saying, are you sure you're in the right room? And I said, I don't know. What are you looking for? What are you waiting for? And then we were looking for, I was not Starinsky back then, I was only Maor Elbaz. I adopted my wife's last name. We were waiting for Maor Elbaz. I said, well, that's me. So let's talk. And then they asked me, are you sure you know which position you applied for? And I told them it was the day after the foreign minister resigned. Well, it's Israel, every other day. A minister resigns or a government resigns. So I told them, well, the foreign minister just resigned yesterday. Aren't you looking for a new minister? And something broke the ice over there. They thought maybe there is something in this guy, regardless of the big skull that maybe sent a statement. And all that to say that we communicate in a very peculiar way, but we did communicate, and I managed to persuade something. Not only did they accept me, 14 years later, I became the head of the diplomatic academy, so maybe I did some, and then after 4 years, I become the Consul General of Israel in Miami, and you don't become Consul General in Miami if you're not doing a good job. So I might have communicated in a good way. So just remember, all this long story, communicate, always. You always communicate even if you don't want, so make sure you do communicate. I'll move on to the next pillar that I have over here, and that's vision. And why did I choose vision? Because I remember I was 30 years old, that was 18 years ago, I'm sure you can do the math. I'm 17 years in the ministry. So 1 year before I joined the ministry, and I was, believe it or not, I'm not sure any of you are familiar, but do you know what Dungeons and Dragons is? I was in Dungeons and Dragons, I'm sorry, really, it'll be sometimes embarrassed, my kids are making fun of me. I was a Dungeons and Dragons instructor in Israel. This is how I made a living. I mean, among many other things that I was doing. So I was Dungeons, and I remember I was doing birthdays. It was a Saturday, and I was on a hill, on a small hill in Tel Aviv. And I was 30 years old. In Israel, we started a little bit later. Because we got to the army, and then I went to South America, and somebody had decided that before school they had to take my appendix out in Bolivia. Different story. But nevertheless, my appendix was removed in Bolivia, and I needed to be under some kind of supervision for a couple of months. But anyways, I was on this hill playing Dungeons and Dragons with some phony swords from rubber, and I was thinking, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Really? I'm 30 years old and I'm playing with swords? Rubber, Dungeons and Dragons, oh, there's a problem coming, and I'm like, oh, and I'm trying to be all into that, because, well, the parents paid for this birthday, you really have to pretend that you're enjoying this made-up game, but I was really, I had a vision of where I was going to. That's what I'm heading. And then I told you about this interview that got me into the foreign ministry. And 1 year into my service, where I was still in Israel, they told me I was in the North America desk, and they told me, listen, Governor Bush is coming to Israel. Do you know who Governor Bush is? Oh, I heard about Governor Bush. You need to go with him on a helicopter ride over Israel and show him Israel. I said, are you talking to me? Really, me? I was just doing Dungeons and Dragons in a hill in Tel Aviv. You really want me to take Governor Bush and then IDF helicopters above Israel to show Israel, to show them how, yes, what happened to you, what happened to you? So I went and I flew with Governor Bush over Israel and explained to him about all the strategic threats. And it started to dawn on me that this is my job. And then just a few months after that, President Bush came to Israel. And then, just a couple of months ago, I was giving a speech with the First Lady, Jill Biden at Surfside. And just 2 weeks ago, I was in a meeting I went with Governor DeSantis to Israel for a one-day visit. And I went with him to the meeting with the Prime Minister. And I always have to pinch. I was like, really? Is it me sitting in this room? Yes, this is me sitting in this room with the Prime Minister, Governor DeSantis, talking about all the things that you read about in the newspaper. And it's all, and you have to, it needs to dawn on you, and you need to adjust to that. But it's part of the whole acceptance of yourself. And wow, I'm worthy. I've done something to deserve that. I've earned that. And that relates to all this empowerment pillar that you had. If you empower yourself, and you always talk about empowering others, and I want to echo that. It's very important. I have a 30 or 35 people team at the consulate. I was a major in the paratroopers. I had 120 soldiers, and all that. It's very important to empower everybody. But we often forget how important it is to empower ourselves. Always be curious, learn. You should know that there is a world outside other than the TikTok clip that you just saw. I often talk to students or to people, and they know everything they need to know about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict based on the 7 seconds clip on TikTok that is so. Based on the one post on the internet, they know who's right and who's wrong. A couple of months ago, or a couple of years ago rather, I was at the UN in New York, and I was taking a taxi ride with a taxi driver from an Indian origin, and he heard I was Israeli. I don't know, maybe it can't be that my accent gave me in, but anyhow, he knew I was Israeli, and he asked me, why don't you solve your issues with the Palestinians? And I asked him, why don't you solve your issues with the Pakistanis? And he said, you should not speak about anything, say anything about our issues with the Pakistanis, you know nothing about it. And I asked him, what made you think you know anything about our issues with the Palestinians? Everybody knows everything that needs to be known based on this clip, TikTok, one article that they may have read, the whole thing. Be curious, learn, empower yourself. And once you empower yourself, you will be sure to empower others, and that's incredibly important. One more thing that I want to say it relates to the tolerance. We're sitting underneath, it's written right above me, we are all God's children. It's very important to be tolerant, especially in this, I'm coming from Israel, a very multicultural, very diverse society, country, and in many ways, Florida resembles or reminds me of Israel. But it's very important also to be tolerant to yourself. Accept your failures. I can't even count the numbers of failures that I've gone through. Many in school and in the military and in the university. In the end of the day, our character is not only the sum of our successes, but it's also the sum of our failures. And we learn, as I said, we learn from failures, not less than we learn from successes. And let me end with something that relates to what the rabbi said at the beginning: be kind to each other. Now I have over here. I've written many quotes from the Bible that I thought would be very impressive. But then on the way here, I decided actually to give a quote from maybe I would call it a secular Bible, if I may. The Beatles. Do you know the Beatles? You do know the Beatles, right? Okay. They existed, really. And my signature on my e-signature on my email, nobody ever, we don't use pens anymore. And my e-signature has for probably about 20 years the sentence, and in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make. And it's very important to understand how deep this, pop in the end of the day, or rock sentence or song, sentence from a rock song. In the end of the day, you will accept exactly what you give. You will not get more and you will not get less. And that relates not only to love, it relates to anything you do. When I trained to the marathon, the result that I did, how do I say that? The result that I made related to the number of hours that I put in. It was difficult, it was hard, it was almost devastating, very, very fulfilling, but the result that I made was correlated to the effort that I made in the training. And everything that you do, in work, in school, in interpersonal relationship, in sports, in anything that you do, you will get back exactly what you put in. So don't expect to get more. And I think this is a motto that I've been carrying throughout my life. Put in your soul, put in the effort, the thing that you love, that you didn't get to like, the thing that you want to be successful in. And I'm sure you all are. I've read about this program, I've read about your mentors, I saw some clips on YouTube, and you have all the reasons to believe that you are successful, that you will be even more successful. Just make sure that the hard work never stops. You always have to put more and more. And from here, in the name of the State of Israel, I want to wish you all best of luck. We are proud of you. The whole community is proud of you. You are the future not only of your families or of yourself. You are the future. I would even say you are the current, you are the present of the Jewish people. And always, wherever you go, be Jewish. I will not tell you how you become more Jewish. Be Jewish, and the more Jewish you are, the closer you will be to the State of Israel. And we need that. We want that. We need you to be in contact with the State of Israel, with the Jewish people wherever they are, because this is part of our resilience, this is part of our strength, this is part of our story and history. Good luck, everybody, and thank you very much for having me.
Maor, thank you. I'm hoping we're soon done. Once we're done, you'll stay for the rest of the night and share the rest of your stories. Or you'll come back another time.
Well, I have 5
We look forward to a partnership, more of an increased partnership with our community and you. Thank you for being here. We want to give you a gift of a beautiful commentary on Pirkei Avot from Rav Steinsaltz, Zichrono Livracha. We hope you enjoy it. We know it's going to empower you to be a better leader. You're a good leader as you are. And God bless you. Let's get a picture together. Thank you very much for being here. Okay, let's watch the screen.
You want to be in life, and how do you plan on getting there? And have you discovered your skill set, your talent, your passions, your interests?
So we have 8 sessions. The curriculum is a journey through leadership.
You need to make your own decisions, have bravery, and we also talk about self-development.
A lot of the time someone just needs someone to hear them out, listen to what they have to say, instead of bringing it back to you.
One of the most important parts of being a good communicator is being present and showing that you care.
If you're in a situation where you're not very motivated to do something, you can start creating smaller steps towards this one vision you have.
If you have a group of people around you that empower you, it allows you to reach your goals a lot more consistently, and it allows you to set even higher goals for yourself.
Sometimes you can say yeah, I haven't done it yet, and use it as an excuse to not do it. Instead, you should use it as a way to actually get something done.
Excited to be here and share life experiences and values with you.
lowering that wall that we all have around us allows everybody else to do the same.
I'm hoping to learn from you guys. I'm a mentor because I've messed up lots of times, and I'm here to share all the ways I messed up. And if you can make something out of it, that's great.
We're here to share with you open, interesting conversations, hoping that there's going to be a spark of something of what is said here that will stick with you.
Don't be scared, or even if you are, just dive in anyway.
And the 7-year-old looked so happy, and I said, you know what? Would you like to take that bike home? And these are his exact words he said to me. He said, Bonnie, you've made my dreams come true. 7 years old. Who gets to have a job like that?
Everyone else who is a Jew, everyone else who's in this clan, this tribe, this big noisy family, is also your problem and your opportunity. And we have an obligation to every other Jew in the world to be there when they need our help.
They just take effort. It's just like learning tennis or basketball or playing piano. You can rewire your brain in almost any way that you want for the positive.
You need to change your habits, we all do, but if you improve one or two of your habits by me talking to you today, it can improve your happiness, but also your success and your vision.
Self-knowledge is very difficult to obtain. It's like a full-time job for teenagers. They are learning about themselves so much, but it's very helpful to have an understanding about them.
You have to have a lot of passion for it. You have to really want it. You have to want something beyond money. If it's only money, persistence doesn't work.
The sooner you get the habit of giving back, putting aside your time and your money, okay, to give to others, you will see this coming back to you 100 times better.
So you make a decision with all the information that you have in the moment and you live with it. And then whatever the result is, the result is. And you can reflect on it later and say, did I make the right decision there?
Able to go further in life, and you're able to be more and do more, and that's what we're excited about, and that's what we want to help you discover. What is it you want to be in life, and how do you plan on it?
So I kind of changed my speech, and then it was printed before that, so I'm just going to read it off my phone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Leon Kalev. I first want to acknowledge my fellows, mentors, and especially the families who were able to make it tonight to this special moment. So I'm going to start with a question. What is leadership? As Donald McGannon once said, leadership is an action, not a position. This quote demonstrates one of the main misconceptions people have about leadership. When I first came to this program, I had this misconception as well. When many people think about leadership, they think about someone like a king leading a nation, or someone who owns a business. They imagine someone with power who leads others. This is where they are mistaken. Everyone can be a leader no matter age or position. Throughout this program, I learned the role that these 8 pillars, character, tolerance, communication, vision, empowerment, persistence, strategy, and judgment, play in the creation of an exceptional leader. Each individual pillar contributes a great deal to make an ideal leader that is able to persevere through adversity. Solomon taught me many lessons through online work, discussions with my group, and closing statements that I feel will help guide me through the next stages of my life. I want to close by inviting each and every one of my Solomon Fellows to take on the challenge of mastering all the pillars, one at a time, until we achieve a level of proficiency in which we are no longer required to actively think about it. Mastering these pillars will propel us to achieve the next level of leadership. As we continue on with our lives, it is crucial that we strive to lead our communities into the future, keeping front and center the valuable lessons we have gained from this program. It has been an honor and privilege to share this journey with all of you. I hope we are all able to incorporate what we have learned moving forward so that we can be the best leaders possible and leave a lasting impact on our respective communities. Thank you.
Thank you. We're almost ready for a nice l'chaim together, right?
But before that, and we have a delicious spread, and please join us, but a couple really important things. First of all, to acknowledge some people who you don't know, you haven't even heard their name tonight, or maybe you have, but they're behind the scenes, but they help make it all happen. So first of all, Miriam is here from the central office in Palm Beach, and Tzipi can help us here. Tzipi, you want to come help us? And we want to give you a very small token of our appreciation for you and your team and the support that you give us. And Tzipi, if you don't mind handing me this bouquet so I can give this back to Tzipi. A big round of applause for Tzipi. Thank you. Thank you so much. Two final announcements, my friends. First of all, we are having a celebration Shabbat dinner tonight, this Shabbat night, this Friday night, for all the graduates and their families. I hope you received the email from me. And if you are joining, please let me know. That would be nice so we can be prepared for you. Some of you have already told us that you're coming. We are looking forward to that. Let us know for the graduates and their families. One more thing. As you walk out tonight, I want you to think about this. Last year, we had, I think it was maybe just a little more than half the graduates that we have this year. This year, we have almost doubled. We have projections for next year and the year after. For us, this is serious business. We take it very seriously. Our mentors, our guest speakers, our support staff are really committed to this. I want you to know that from our community, it's a very big investment. And we are looking for partners to help us make it sustainable so that in the future years, it'll be this and more, and then we'll have a full room. Because you know from your own children, everyone who goes through a program like this becomes changed. We have seen in each and every single one of them, on their own pace, a change. You as parents, I'm sure you have, but you see them all the time. When we see them only a few times every month, it's remarkable. So we're very proud of this. We're going to continue it for a long time, bigger and better. If you can help partner, if you know of somebody, please bring it to my attention. And we wish you all lots and lots of nachas, lots of joy from your family. Let us go toast and l'chaim together.